Real Talk in the Quiet Room. I'm your host, Ashley, and today we are sitting down and chatting with our massage therapist, Chase.
Hi.
I'm so excited to sit down and talk with you. You were our March feature for the month.
That's right.
So we got to know you a little bit of snippets, some questions were asked, but today we are going to sit down and chat. First thing I wanted to ask you was, why did you become a massage therapist?
Well, when I got out of high school, I wanted to do counseling. I wanted to do, psychotherapy. But I wasn't a very good high school student. And whenever I found out that I would have to go to school and get my master's degree, I was like, there's just no way. And so I joined the workforce, and I've always been really good with people, so I got into sales. And one day I was working in Austin as a cashier, I believe, and this girl came in, and we got to talking, and she was a massage therapy student at the Conway Lauderstein School of Massage in Austin.
Okay.
And it just had never occurred to me that massage therapy was something that maybe I could do.
Yeah.
And at that time, I was just looking for something that I felt like what I was doing, that it was missing some purpose that I was looking for. I wanted to work with people. I wanted to do something therapeutic, and then all of a sudden, this girl comes in, and then in my mind, I'm just like, well, that's it. I could be a massage therapist.
Yeah.
I could get paid to help make people feel better, essentially.
Yeah.
Now, there's several years in between that time that I met this girl and whenever I actually went to school. And the reason for that was because I was afraid that people would not want to work with male massage therapists.
Yeah, it's a stigma.
It is a stigma, and I guess we're going to talk about that a little bit later. But even I was stigmatized by it. I was like, well, what if I become a massage therapist and then no one wants to work with me because they're uncomfortable? And so years went by, and the idea of becoming a massage therapist stuck in my mind, but it wasn't.
Did you just kind of keep coming back to it?
I kept coming back to it in my mind.
Yeah.
And interestingly enough, my girlfriends at the time were always opposed to it. They're like, I don't want you touching any other girls. And,
they were affected by the stigma too.
Yes, they were affected by the stigma too, exactly.
Yeah.
And so that was a little bit of a deterrent. But I was on a train ride across country from Nebraska to West Virginia to go hike the Appalachian Trail.
Oh my gosh.
In, 2011. And we had a stop off at the big, I can't remember the name of it, but the big train station in Chicago.
Okay.
And we had to wait there, and so my girlfriend at the time and I, we got out and we went to downtown Chicago, and we had lunch, and we just happened to sit by this guy that was a massage therapist.
Oh my gosh, you're just running into them all over the place.
Well, this is really the first male massage therapist that I got to talk to.
Oh my gosh. So you actually got to talk to him?
Yes.
Okay.
So he was from Boulder, Colorado, and we got in this conversation, and I told him about my desires, and he was just like, man, you should go for it. He said, I have a very successful and lucrative business in Boulder, and I've got all my own clients, and that's just, if you're worried about it, I say go for it, because my experience has been that it's been a really positive thing.
Yeah.
And so still a year or two after, I tried my hand at organic vegetable farming.
Oh my gosh.
And and then I decided I didn't want to be a farmer. I just stick to gardening.
Okay. Yeah.
And then I got into massage school, and 11 years later,
here we
I
are.
am.
Yes. Oh my gosh. What is your favorite thing about being a massage therapist, though? Because so you're 11 years.
Mm-hmm.
I'm coming up on 14, so I feel like that's pretty close in time, as far as experience goes. So, I mean, what do you enjoy the most about being a massage therapist? I feel like you have to have a certain mindset, and you have to have like this, I don't know, like almost like, I think Lee and I kind of touched base on this in the last episode, where you have to kind of have like a server's heart. Like you have to be more of like a giver, you know what I mean? In order to make it such a longevity of, or even like turning it into a career,
Yes, absolutely. Massage therapy is a calling.
For sure.
Anybody who is not in it for that purpose, this is one of those occupations that just pushes them out.
Yeah.
And
you see it very quickly.
Yes.
Like, you see it, you almost kind of like know when you meet another massage therapist, whether, especially like if they come out of school, like, you know if they're going to make it or not.
Yes.
Like, almost instantaneously.
I think the average burnout rate for massage therapists is after 2 years of being licensed.
Mm-hmm.
It's like 60% or something like that of massage therapists drop off. And
yeah.
So anyone that's still working after 2 years,
you're kind of like, they're going to make it.
It's a higher likelihood, I think. But touching back on what you said about the servant's heart, I think that one of the things that you have to, one of the attitudes you have to have, or maybe it's not even an attitude, but just a purposefulness that you have to have, is the client has to come first.
For sure.
And if it's money, this occupation immediately gets too hard. If it is time, this occupation gets too slow.
Yeah.
But if it is the client, then all of those things just kind of fall into place.
That's right.
And then you're able to access the purpose that brought you into this profession in the first place.
For sure. I feel like clients, they feed off of that energy too. Like, as soon as you grab them and bring them to the back, like, they are already kind of getting your energy. And whether, you know, because sometimes it can be a little bit robotic, right? Like, just like any other job you have, like, it's an in and out kind of thing. But at the same time, you know, each client is like a new set of things going on, whether it's physical, emotional, mental, you know, we kind of get a realm of all those three things.
Yes, absolutely.
So, you know, if they do also, like, you know, become your client, you get to know them, you build a relationship with them. And so, like, each appointment can vary within what their needs are. So, you know, it can change from whether you fixing some type of like chronic issue that they're physically having, or maybe they, you know, are going through a hard time and they want to talk to you the, you know, majority of the session. It can definitely vary from appointment to appointment. But if you've never met them before, you know, you're kind of like just starting from a blank slate.
Yes.
And you have to remember from each appointment that you have for that day that they're coming in and they don't know what you've experienced in your day up to that point. So the expectation levels of, you know, giving like a top-notch service every single time, we hold it to a really high standard here. Like, you know, we talk about being the best service providers and stuff like that, but you know, I think I've just found that throughout my career, kind of like what you were saying, if you're not taking it kind of seriously from appointment to appointment, you just don't last, you know. And that's a big thing that we see day to day.
Yes.
Yeah,
you touch on a lot of important things. One is intentionality.
Yeah.
Which intention is something that they talked about all the way back in massage therapy school.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I was a skeptic of that. I thought, you know, I guess I didn't really understand what intentionality is, but 11 years into the practice, I realized that intentionality is tremendous. And for me in a session, all of that intentionality really means is when I put my hands on a client, that I just check in whether it's mentally or just check in with a sense of feeling, and I think to myself, like,
you're like feeding
I'm
off
here.
that energy.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm touching this client, and that's it. And and then the intentionality just kind of takes over. But without that, and it's interesting because I can watch people breathe, and whenever I set that intention, I can see that it affects the biorhythms of that person. You know, that sounds a little woo-woo, but it's not. It's just
you literally physically see it happen. Like, I know exactly what you're talking about. especially like I love doing couples massages with you because it's literally so much fun because I find myself really watching you a lot, like more so than I feel like I've watched other people. I know that probably sounds a little bit weird, but like because you're so intentional and just very meticulous in the way that you move, and I just like it's kind of like just like watching a show, you know. I'm like, ooh.
Well, thank you. I'm flattered.
Yeah, no, but even like when we grab like couples massages and stuff, speaking on that, you know, the second that we bring them into the room, I think I've told you this before, like I love that you sit down in the chair and you're like talking to them and you're like, you know, having like this conversation where it doesn't necessarily feel so much like a consultation and so like deep, but just like you're trying to kind of get a feel for them in all those aspects of what I talked about earlier, being like, where are they physically, where are they emotionally, where are they you know, mentally, and just asking them the right questions without them making them feel like it's kind of like a medical thing, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, that medical is important. It's not to say that it's, you know, not, but I just feel like it flows really nicely and kind of sets your clients into this very calm state.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm focused on what we refer to as power differential.
Mm-hmm.
And so I bring a client in, and you know, if you think about it, who is really about to take the risk here? It's the client. The client's going to get undressed.
Yeah.
You know, the client's taking the risk of allowing me to put my hands on them. And so when I sit down while they're standing up, I have found that clients, without even realizing it, they feel more confident to begin to tell me about what's really going on in their bodies.
Yeah.
I'm 6'2", and so
Yeah.
I'm
I guess I never thought of that though,
Yeah.
too, you know, like, and I mean, I think about it when just in my experience of like what you were saying, like they are basically entrusting a complete stranger to touch them and, you know, get on the table and that kind of whole thing. And if you are kind of hesitant, it can be a little bit intimidating as far as your size goes, because you're like so tall.
Yeah. Or, you know, yeah, no, I mean, you kind of hit the nail on the head. If people are immediately uncomfortable, then it's going to be really difficult to, you know, to bring their biorhythms and their body into a place to where they're really going to get that full therapeutic experience that we're really trying to provide.
Yeah.
And so there's a lot of nuances to massage therapy. The way that we talk to people, right, and the sound of our voices. Even you mentioned in one of our trainings last time, trying to really control the amount of noise that's happening around the table, trying to keep that to a minimum. There's a kind of a transic atmosphere going on.
Because when you're laying face down on the table, you can't see anything, you don't know what's going on, so your sense of hearing is just like absolutely amplified. And like if you're hearing like things slam or like sneakers make that, you know, sound or things like that, it's not bad noises, but it heightens those senses and can kind of abrupt your relaxation.
Yeah.
You know, those are like things that make a difference in how you start to relax.
So many things at play.
So many things at play. Yeah, definitely. So with that, how is your experience been as far as being a male therapist in such like a female dominated industry? Because you are one of 3 guys total here in the retreat. So you 3 work with nothing but women. And I feel like, especially just working with all kinds of male therapists throughout my career, like you kind of have a little bit of some extra obstacles that you have to go through. And it's like, if you are not on your A game, or if you are not, I hate to say it, but like if you're not a good therapist, like they just don't make it. Like you just don't make it. If you can't build that clientele, like it just doesn't happen for you guys.
Yeah.
So like anytime I've ever trained a male or like hired a new male massage therapist, I'm like, it's not that I'm hesitant, it's just that I'm like, okay man, like you gotta go for it. Like you gotta really push, for building your clientele, because it's going to be harder for you, unfortunately, than it is for me because of that stigma.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can kind of summarize it a little bit this way. So, if you were going to have, if a woman was going to have a massage therapist come out to her house, and she was going to be the only one there, would it feel more acceptable to have a female massage therapist come out there, or would it be more acceptable to have a male massage therapist come out there while she's by herself? And I think obviously if we answer the question from a social and cultural vantage point, then we would say, especially if we had any relation to this girl, we would say absolutely not. You're going to not let, probably neither of them, but you're not going to let the male massage therapist go out there and meet with you by yourself. And so that energy is, and that attitude is, unfortunately, it's relevant. But it is an attitude that male massage therapists we have to work against. We have to work against several aspects of, lots of aspects of things.
And sometimes it's not even the woman. Sometimes it's that she's, she'll call, like someone will call and be like, well, they typically will ask, especially if one of you or Rocco are on the schedule and that's the time that they have available, they will ask, like, are you comfortable with being with a male massage therapist? And sometimes the response is, yes, but my husband's not comfortable with it, or it's their significant other is not comfortable with it, or, we have couples that come in and they want two females, or, the male doesn't want another male massage therapist to work on them.
Yes.
I mean, there's way more to it than just like a female getting a massage from a male massage therapist,
Yes, from my experience, the basic rundown, and there is more to it than this, but the basic rundown is when it comes to, generally speaking, and this is my own impression, when it comes to men working with a male massage therapist, a lot of the hesitation comes from socially and culturally, generally, men are, even as boys, are only really touched by their moms and eventually by their wives. And so that's a part of it.
Yeah.
I experienced that myself whenever I went to massage therapy school. I wanted to be a massage therapist, but lo and behold, there was other males in the class. And I felt
so you actually had other males.
I felt the weird.
In my massage class, there was only one guy.
There was two in mine. But I felt the weirdness of them working on me, and that it went away. It went away after, one of them ended up being basically the best massage therapist in class as far as I'm concerned. And so that made it go away. But then also just getting used to it.
Everybody wanted to get a massage from him.
Yeah. And so it does go away. But, and then for women it's different. For women, there can be body image issues. Like, maybe you don't feel comfortable being seen by me. But then there's also issues of, predatory issues that women have had with men in the past, sexual abuse issues. That too, and then there can be religious issues. And so something that's important for me as a male massage therapist is to not hate on those issues, but to realize that they're actually relevant.
Yeah.
And so what I can do to circumvent some of those issues is if somebody does take a chance on me, I provide them with that professional experience that you're talking about, and then begin to develop that rapport with them. But then another thing that I do is I just have to realize in my mind that my clients are out there. It's just going to take me a little bit longer than maybe it would for a female massage therapist. But eventually, the people that want what I do, I'm going to begin to collect them as clients. And then after a while, I'll be booked all the time.
Right. That's exactly right. I mean, I mean, again, when I have hired male massage therapists, I've kind of just always had to be like, you gotta stick it out, you know, you gotta give it some time, you gotta build your clientele, like, you know, just hang in there and they will come.
Yes.
I know in your feature that we did for March, I think you had referred to yourself as the human steamroller.
The gentle steamer. And that came from another massage therapist after I was done with them.
Yeah, I love that because I think it's like exactly true. Just watching you give massage, but also just because of your size and your build and stuff like that, I just feel like clients, anytime I see them coming out, you know, they're kind of like they're kind of massage drunk, you know, they're kind of just like, yeah, that was so great. So I'm glad that you have stuck around and built that clientele because your clients love you and they have definitely started to come back and see you more often. I've definitely seen like your books be way more full. I mean, of course, than from when you first started, but definitely that clientele is there for you for sure.
Yes, the books are filling up, so
yeah, so you gotta get your appointment in for sure. So I know you've worked at other places previously, but why a spa? Is there anything to that?
You know, I like working as a team, and I also like working with other massage therapists.
Yeah.
And so that has a lot to do with it. Also, the spa atmosphere, and again, maybe this is connected a little bit with me being a male massage therapist. The spa is already kind of a safe atmosphere. It's
True.
like, you know, you're surrounded by professionals in a calming environment, and so I enjoy working with people who maybe they've got kids or they've got other things going on outside of the house that are looking for that place where they can lay everything down.
Not like so clinical, right? I guess.
Yes, maybe so. Yeah. No, we can get clinical depending on what the issue is. But yeah, I think some of the most impactful work that can really be done in massage therapy is really done at the level of relaxation.
Yeah.
Definitely. You know, I can go into that for a long period of time, talking about the nervous system and.
No, but it's 100% true because a lot of people sometimes think of just massage as physical attributes, but really, honestly, the most work that we do is in the nervous system because that controls your blood pressure, your heart rate, all those kinds of things. And you know, when you are in that relaxed state, all of those things are affected and are brought down. And that's why people have such a physical reaction. It's like almost instantaneously. So when you spend an hour and a half, sometimes 2 hours in a massage, and you come out and it, like I was saying, like you kind of feel like massage drunk, it's because you technically are. Everything is so lowered and you feel those instant relief of everything, not just like, oh yeah, you know, my muscles feel better. You know what I mean?
Well, the body has a optimal state at which it heals, and really that's whenever you're asleep. And so whenever we are asleep, that's whenever our body is always in the process of healing, but it is able to put the maximum amount of energy and focus into healing our bodies when we are asleep. So in massage, when we are accessing people's nervous systems and calming them down, we're bringing them into that maximal state.
Do you ever have anybody that is like, I'm so sorry if I fall asleep on you?
All the time.
And then my response is always like, it's totally okay. It's the best compliment to me.
Yes, I say the same thing. It's a compliment to massage therapists when you fall asleep on their table.
Literally. That's kind of like what we're aiming for. That is what we're shooting for.
It is. I mean, I understand some clients are irritated with themselves because they know they're paying good money.
Yeah, they feel like they don't want to miss it, right? Or they wake up and they're like, oh, I didn't even get to enjoy it. And I'm like, well, technically you did. You're going to feel better afterwards.
Yeah, absolutely.
What don't you like about being a massage therapist? Flipping the script.
I
The
don't.
opposite end.
I don't like people asking me jokingly about happy endings.
Okay, well, yeah, that's obvious for sure.
Yes. Well, I mean, there's a lot to that.
Has it happened to you though?
Oh, yeah. Well, not at the spa, but outside of the spa. And so, what I don't like that. I don't like the ambiguity within our field. People sometimes don't realize. I hear. I don't really get offended by this, but I hear masseuse, masseur, massage parlor, and all of these terms.
Yeah.
These blanket terms.
Have a negative connotation to it. Yeah.
The reality is that we are healthcare professionals. We are licensed by the state. We went to school.
Right.
We took examinations. We have to do
damn straight right there.
Continuing education to maintain our licenses. We have to have insurance. To be able to practice.
It is a real deal.
Just like a doctor or a psychotherapist or a nurse or all of these are licensed professions, and massage therapy is one of those. And it irritates me sometimes. And it's not to be mean to anyone. There's just Hollywood has over-sexualized massage therapy, and then also there's some confusion because in other parts of the world there are sexual aspects to massage therapy, and then culturally, in that culture, it's acceptable. And so I'm not even going to knock that. But the type of massage therapy we practice and the attitude that is held in this country stems from a European form of massage therapy, which is medical.
Yeah.
It was aerobic, Swedish aerobic massage.
Or like homeopathic. You have all of these aspects of it being more of like a homeopathic style, Swedish massage. Because I've had people ask me that too, like, why is it called Swedish massage? I'm like, well, that's the origination format of the style of massage. Right,
and the purpose of that massage was really I think it was originally kind of aimed at sports, but it is a legitimate form of healthcare.
Yeah.
And anyways, I think most people are starting to understand that. And the other thing, it's not even an irritation, but I'm trying to really, with my clients especially, I'm trying to flip the script. Massage therapy is and has always been, since the dawn of time, a maintenance therapy. Sometimes with my clients, I try to say that, sometimes they come in and they're like, I just fell off a ladder, I need you to fix me. Well, sometimes there is what we call the 60-minute miracle, but what massage therapy's purpose is, if people ever think about, if you stop and think, well, how long do I want to live? Well, most people want to live a long time.
Yeah.
Well, the reality is, if you want to live a long time, you need to start taking care of yourself now.
Oh, for
and
sure.
So that is the type of attitude that I'm trying to, help create. Is that massage is not. It's good at any time, but it's not just for birthdays and anniversaries and vacation. It's a maintenance therapy. It's something that I liken it to. Massage is not a body shop. Massage is where you get your oil changed. If you want your car to go forever, the one thing that they'll tell you is that you've got to get religiously and regular oil changes, and that's what massage is like.
Yeah. That's a great analogy.
Well, I've heard it used as, it's a preventative therapy. That just sounds terrible because it's like, eventually you're going to get hurt.
I can do that's going to prevent anything from happening to you.
Yeah, it's a maintenance therapy. It's like we all have physical things that we have to do in our lives. If you sit at a desk, that's not going to go away.
Right.
If you have to pick up your kids, that's not going to go away for a long time.
Yeah.
If you drive for long periods of time, that's not going to go away. If you're out doing whatever, you might not be able to change those aspects of your day-to-day life, but what you can do to to help maintain your body and to help undo some of that stress is to go and get monthly massage, or bi-monthly massage. And
I am always telling clients too, like, especially clients with like busy schedules and all those kinds of aspects that can sometimes deter you from getting a regular massage. I'm like, shoot for at least every quarter. That's 4 massages a year. In the grand scheme of things, it's really not a lot. Should you be getting more massages than 4 a year? Absolutely. But if you can at least get 4 massages a year instead of like 1 or 2, like for your birthday or like Mother's Day or whatever, like you were saying, then it will at least get you in some better shape of health,
Yes.
Do you have any crazy stories?
I have. Let's see. I do. I have two crazy stories.
Oh my god. Okay.
But these are PG stories, but they're still crazy.
Okay.
So one of my stories is one time, believe it or not, I read one of my clients' minds.
Okay, you're gonna have to break this down for me.
This is at the very beginning of my career as a massage therapist.
Okay.
I was working on a client, and as I started working on them, I started really worrying about my mom, and I started worrying about her physical health. And
for people who don't know, though, who aren't obviously massage therapists, we think a lot during massages.
we do.
Like sometimes you can check out a little bit and be like, oh, I have to do this thing, or oh, I have to remember to do this. But because of the circumstance of it being quiet, or if your client's not talking to you, which is kind of sometimes how we prefer it, we are thinking about all different things, or
We're just letting our bodies do
it can
magic.
sometimes just turn into
Yeah.
that. Yes, no, definitely.
Our bodies know.
So when when you say that, I'm like, okay, we need to explain that, because we definitely just tend to just think it just goes, it's playing in your mind. You're thinking about, sometimes throughout the day, I'm also thinking about the same thing, like from appointment to appointment. I'm like, oh, forgot to do that again.
Well, this one I was thinking about is very applicable to this.
Okay. So you're thinking about your mom.
I'm thinking about my mom, and I'm worrying about her and worrying about, I can't remember exactly what it was, but then all of a sudden it dawned on me that I had just seen my mom 30 minutes ago. I knew where she was, and when I left her, she was happy and healthy, and that there's really no reason that I should be worrying about my mom. And all of a sudden I just felt inclined to ask my client, I said, are you worrying about your mom right now? And she said, yes, I am. And then she told me this long, yes. Now this only happened to me once. I'm not, don't come to me and see if I can read your mind, because I probably can't. This really happened. This lady, this was in the Houston area, but her mom lived in Mexico and she was aging. And so she felt like she wanted to be able to take care of her mom, but also she didn't want to move back to Mexico, and her mom wasn't going to come to Houston. And so she was right then and there worrying about her mom, and somehow that, came into me in the form of me worrying about my mom and realizing how silly that was. And that really happened.
Oh my gosh, that is absolutely crazy though.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, physical touch is so powerful though that
it is.
It's definitely crazy, but it's not surprising to me. Like that's never happened to me before, but
it might, and you just didn't know.
I mean, maybe, I guess, yeah. I mean, obviously, maybe at some point in time, but never inclined to, I guess, ask the client if what they were thinking. So
years and years ago, hasn't happened to me since.
That is wild.
Now another story is one time I was working on a client, and in the quiet of the massage room, and all of a sudden I heard this like really loud sound. It just like went through the wall and kind of like rattled the ceiling.
What?
And I didn't say anything, but I just kept on.
Did you just keep going?
I just kept on going, and sent the client on their way. And lo and behold, somebody had wrecked their car into the James Avery that was right beside our spa. Like just jettisoned over the little, and so like. Yeah, somebody had just like we went out and there was like this blue Mustang just halfway sticking out of the James Avery. And
Oh,
that had
my
happened,
goodness.
while I was in a massage session.
But the card, like, obviously didn't go through the wall, but could have possibly.
It was close.
Where you were right there, basically. Then.
I was on the other side of the wall.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Could you imagine though, had the car gone
Oh,
through
my
your
goodness.
wall? Like, I don't even know. I mean, could you just be there like doo doo, and then just the car comes right at you? That is crazy. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh. Well, I cannot say that I've ever even experienced things like that before. My crazy stories are just kind of
Mind reading in car crashes.
yeah, that's like, I'm glad you said both though, because those are two kind of like once in a lifetime things.
Hopefully.
And
Hopefully with a car crash.
Yeah, definitely with the car crash for sure. So some people don't know, but you're in college.
Yes.
Yeah,
I
you're
am.
almost done, right? Kind of, sorta.
I'll be done with my bachelor's degree in the spring of next year.
Oh my gosh.
At Texas State.
Congratulations. That is so amazing.
Thank you.
Like, kudos to you for going to school, working, all those kinds of things. And
It's a
you
lot.
have 3 kids,
I
you
do.
have a wife, you have a life, a
Mhm.
home, a farm, all the things, right? Something
Well,
like that?
Yeah.
In a sense.
Yes, I live out in the country and I have a big garden.
Yeah. But I mean, that's a lot of work. So
It's a lot. It's too much sometimes.
I'm sure. Yeah. But what is your future plans? Are you gonna leave massage therapy at some point in time?
No, I'm never going to leave massage therapy.
Ah, thank God.
Yes, I'm going to maintain my license. And so, massage therapy has given me the confidence, and working with people throughout these 11 years has given me the confidence to go after that psychotherapy that I wasn't willing to do whenever I graduated high school. And so I'm pursuing social work.
Okay.
And so I'll be also going to get my master's degree. But then licensed clinical social workers have the same authority as professional counselors. And so one day I hope to combine the field of
Oh my gosh, that would be
psychotherapy and
amazing.
massage therapy.
Yeah, that would be.
So that's future aspirations.
Yes, yeah. I mean, I feel like there's definitely, especially in this day and age, for sure, a need of that. Both aspects of healing, for sure.
Yes, and if there's any clients that are watching this right now, some of you know already that sometimes we moonlight as your therapists.
Gosh, I know that.
As well.
Sometimes I'm like, I should just put this on my resume. Like,
Mhm.
just put.
And we like
therapist.
it. We like to hear about your life.
I know, like, I mean, if you want to talk about your life and you want to tell me your whole life story, I am willing to hear. I'm
Yeah.
willing to listen. And if you want my opinions, great. But if not, I'm just here to listen to you
Mhm.
too, for sure. Well, I definitely feel like we're ready for the game. Are you ready for the game?
Okay, let's do it.
Alrighty. So today we are going to play a little fun game. I'm not even sure how to really call or what to say, but it's like a yes no. I'm going to list off a names of different products, and here are our little yes no signs right here.
Okay.
So if you like the product, or if you agree with whatever, then you're going to hold up yes. And if you don't like the product and you think it's terrible, you're going to hold up no.
Okay.
Okay. These are all his super common things that you can find at your drugstore or, different homeopathic places sometimes. So the first one is BioFreeze. Yes or no? Yes.
Yes, I like BioFreeze.
Really? You like BioFreeze?
I do.
Why do you like it?
I think it's good pain relief.
Yeah? Okay.
Now, a caveat, BioFreeze and some of the other products we're going to talk about is not a remedy for whatever the problem is. What
Right.
it is it's a nerve distraction.
Exactly.
And so it's not healing you, but yeah, I mean, if you're just in discomfort and you're trying to go to bed or trying to sit down and watch TV, then yeah, BioFreeze is great.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. What about Tiger Balm? Yes.
Yes, I like Tiger Balm.
I like Tiger Balm better than BioFreeze.
I do too. I like the burning.
Well, it's like warming too.
I like the warming
Yeah.
sensation. It can kind of get burny.
And to me, it smells better.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
I like both of them.
Okay. Essential oils.
Yes.
Yes.
I do like
Chase
essential oils.
is an essential oil enthusiast. I feel like you like essential oils more than anybody I've ever met.
Wow.
I just feel like you're always using them. And I always walk by your room and I'm like, oh,
I
smells
do like
amazing.
essential oils.
I love essential oils too. I feel like I'm always telling myself, why don't you use essential oils more often? But I don't know. Maybe I'm stuck in my ways.
Yeah, I wish I knew more about essential oils. I definitely use the basic ones.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I'm definitely more on a baseline with essential oils. I know a little bit more than the baseline, but not, I wouldn't say that I'm like
An apothecary.
right. I'd love to be, because like
I would too.
The amount of botanical benefits.
Yes.
Oh,
And also the essential oil knowledge is not new. It's ancient.
correct. Yeah. I mean, some people really go beyond, above and beyond.
I'm a believer. I'm a big believer in essential oils.
I love essential oils. Okay, icy hot. Yes.
Yes.
Oh, I'm not an icy hot enthusiast.
Why?
I don't know. I feel like it just burns.
Okay, well I like it. I like the burn.
Yes. Oh, and well, I will say I mean, I guess BioFreeze kind of jumped on a little bit of the same realm as far as like icy hot goes, in that they have like different ways that you can apply the product. Like they finally got a roller.
I like the roller.
Because then you don't have to put it on your hands and then get it on your hands.
Yes.
Because then your hands are like freezing and hot at the same time for like hours. And then when you wash your hands, it still doesn't get off. You're still with it for a while. So thank God for the roller now.
I guess I've only used it as the roller. I never got into it
It was just like BioFreeze. It was just a gel. Or like BioFreeze, if you buy it like pro size, it comes in this huge jug that's like a pump. So
man,
thank God for the rollers now. I think they do have some patches too, which leads me to, okay, and we talked about this earlier. So you've never used Salon Paws before.
no.
Salon Paws are basically a patch, and you can buy, they are in like a little box, and it's got like a little outline of a person, and then it's just like all these little target spots that have like red, they're like red and inflamed, and then it's just got like somebody with a little patch. I personally like Salon Paws only because I really only like to use them at nighttime, because then you just put it on and then go to bed and then just peel it off. Also, I have used them while working, because there's been a few times where I've had an issue happen, and there is nothing worse than trying to give someone a massage while you're also in pain, because that is not fun. So the Salon Paws were definitely a save.
That's a lot of
Save for
good
me.
information.
Yeah.
No.
What?
Just to get that reaction.
Oh my gosh.
Thanks for
Okay.
spending all that time on it. No.
I know, right? You've never even used it before. Okay, what about CBD oils?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Well, okay. Yes and no.
Okay, all right, explain.
So you've got to hunt for this. You've got to hunt for the CBD oil that is really, really infused with CBD. So if it's got serious CBD, which you'll be able to know if it does.
You gotta look
yes.
straight at the ingredients.
Okay.
Like, you need to look at the ingredients and the first things.
There's a lot of
to
watered
be-
down CBD.
Yes.
No. High powered CBD.
Yes. And the thing with using them is that if you use a CBD product that has the correct amount of benefits, you feel it pretty much instantaneously.
Yeah.
And it's not to say that like you feel high or anything.
No,
but
not
that
at all.
area, the
Pain relief.
relief is almost
Yeah.
instantaneously.
And a superior pain relief, maybe bordering on actually doing some kind of anti-inflammatory.
And that's really
healing.
the benefits. Yeah, is
Yeah.
you're feeling that inflammation
different than
just
icy hot.
calm down. Correct.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You're not getting the nerve confusion. You're actually getting some type of actual
Healing.
healing
Yeah.
from CBD.
Okay. The last one is we have this running joke.
It's
Okay.
not a joke.
It is. Okay, yes or no to the spa water? No. No. Okay. Do you want to explain it or you want me to explain it?
Why don't you explain it? I'm interested in hearing what you have to say about it.
Okay, so this happened like a few weeks ago, right? We were
Yes, I went on a rant a few weeks ago.
we had a little bit of a rant. So Chase doesn't like the spa water because you think it's too strong. The amount of cucumber to lemon. Is it that you don't like cucumber, or is it that?
No, it's not that I don't like cucumber. It's that like I
Just
don't want to eat a raw cucumber when I'm thirsty.
So the level of cucumber taste in the water is a no-go for you.
It's a no-go.
It's a no-go.
It's no-go for me and my clients.
Okay, so if you come get a massage from Chase and you want spa water, you need to ask him specifically
Yes. If
for
you ask
spa
me,
water.
I will give you spa water and I'll do it straight-faced with no argument at all. But here's my thing. I do like cucumber water whenever it's so essenced that you simply drink the water and you're just like, wow, this is the freshest water I've ever had. And little do you know that it's the freshest water because there's just a little bit of cucumber in it.
It's like a mist. You want like a mist of cucumber.
Yes, like a slices of cucumber that are two-dimensional.
Okay. Just
Yes, could pass through a three-dimensional plane.
yes. The sharpest knife is cutting this cucumber.
Yes.
Okay.
Precision, like NASA precision.
Alrighty then. Well, did you have anything else that you wanted to chat about? Anything that you can think of?
I don't think so, except for massage therapy is awesome.
Yeah, it is, ma'am. You're right.
And it's nice to be visiting with a massage therapist on the topic.
Thank you. Yes. Yeah. We got to stick together, right?
That's right.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys so much for watching and hope you enjoyed this episode of Real Talk in the Quiet Room. Follow us on all of our social media platforms and we will see you guys back next episode. Thank you. Have a good one.